everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel. This is Narayan Rao Kovar. In this video, I am going to explain indifference curve analysis. What is the introduction to the indifference curve analysis? What is the meaning of indifference schedule? What is the meaning of indifference curve? And what is the meaning of indifference map? So now let us examine first indifference curve analysis. Hicks and Allen's ordinal utility analysis is indifference curve analysis. Hicks and Allen developed indifference curve analysis on the basis of ordinal utility approach. Ordinal utility approach means utility cannot be measured, cannot be quantifiable entity. Utility can be ranked in ordinal numbers. So, indifference curve analysis is a modern method. Indifference curve analysis is a modern method. Indifference curve analysis is based on ordinal utility approach, scale of reference. Third one is marginal rate of substitution. Indifference curve analysis based on ordinal utility approach, scale of reference, and marginal rate of substitution. Ordinal utility approach means utility cannot be measured, utility cannot be quantifiable entity. Scale of reference means order of references, ranking of references. Marginal rate of substitution means the rate at which one commodity is exchanged for another commodity. That is called marginal rate of substitution. Next, indifference schedule. What is the meaning of indifference schedule? It is a table shows all those combinations of two goods that give same satisfaction to the consumer. He is indifferent among the combinations. This is known as indifference schedule. It is a table showing that all those combinations of two commodities which give same level of satisfaction to the consumer. The consumer is indifferent among the combinations. This is known as weak ordering. This is known as weak ordering. Not strong ordering. Not strong ordering. So just we observe the table. Combinations good X, good Y, MRS. Combinations A, B, C, D. Good X 1, 2, 3, 4. Good Y 12, 6, 4, 3. MRS marginal rate of substitution. For A combination, so there is a 1 plus 12. There is no MRS. If you go to the combination B, if you want to need 1 unit of good extra, you have to give up 6 units of good Y. Therefore, MRS is equal to 6. If you observe the C combination, if you want to 1 unit of good X extra, then you have to give up 2 units of good Y. MRS is 2. If you go to the combination D, if you want to good X 1 unit of good X extra, then you have to give up 1 unit of good Y. MRS is equal to 1. MRS means the rate at which one commodity is exchanged for another commodity. So that is why marginal rate of substitution. Generally, it is decreasing 6 to 1. That is why it is called diminishing marginal rate of substitution. Based on the information available in the schedule, we can draw the indifference curve. The information available in the schedule, based on that, we can draw indifference curve. So draw L shape, mark YOX. Good Y is measured on Y axis, good X measured on X axis. Take the values of good X and good Y. In X axis 1 centimeter is equal to 1 unit. In Y axis 1 centimeter is equal to 2 units. Likewise X axis 1, 2, 3, 4. In Y axis 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Take the combinations of good X and good Y. 1 plus 12. 1 plus 12. 6 plus 2. 2 plus 6. 2, 6. Next 3, 4. 3, 4. Next 4, 3. 4, 3. Connect all the intersecting points with a curve line, then you will get indifference curve. Indifference curve slopes downwards from left to right. Indifference curve has a negative slope. Indifference curve is convex to the origin or rectangular hyperbola. So if you select a combination, that will give same level of satisfaction to the consumer. Likewise, you select any combination on the indifference curve, that give same level of satisfaction to the consumer. So indifference curve slopes downwards from left to right. The main reason is the amount of good X increases, the amount of good Y decreases. There is an inverse relationship between these two. Indifference curve slopes downwards from left to right. Next, what is the meaning of indifference curve? What is the meaning of indifference curve? Indifference curve represents consumer's preference graphically. Indifference curve represents consumer's preference graphically. So, indifference curve means an indifference curve represents all those combinations of two commodities which give same level of satisfaction to the consumer. The consumer is indifferent among the combinations. This is known as weak ordering. This is known as weak ordering. Once again, so indifference curve represents all those combinations of two commodities which give same level of satisfaction to the consumer. The consumer is indifferent among the combination. This is called weak ordering. This is called weak ordering. So IC represents all those combinations of two goods which give same satisfaction to the consumer. The consumer is indifferent among the combination. That is called weak ordering. Indifference curve also called iso-utility curve or equal utility curve. The other names of indifference curves are iso-utility curve or equal utility curve. This is called indifference curve. Indifference curve slopes downwards from left to right, convex to the origin, or negative slope, or slopes downwards from left to right, or rectangular hyperbola. The reason is the amount of good X increases, the amount of Y decreases. Next, since all combinations on IC give equal satisfaction to the consumer, he is indifferent among them. This is known as weak ordering. So IC is drawn by plotting various combinations given in the indifference schedule. So IC is drawn by plotting various combinations given in the indifference schedule. Next, slope of indifference curve is termed as MRS. The slope of indifference curve is equal to MRS. MRS is equal to delta Y by delta X. Change in the Y by change in the X. This is MRS is the slope of indifference curve. Slope of indifference curve. Next, indifference map. Indifference map. What is the meaning of indifference map? It is a complete picture of consumers' taste and preferences. Indifference curve map represents complete picture of consumer taste and preferences, and it explains entire utility function of a consumer. Entire utility function of a consumer. It means indifference curve map means a set of indifference curves. A set of indifference curves is called indifference map. Higher indifference curve shows that higher level of satisfaction than lower indifference curve. That means lower indifference curve shows that lower level of satisfaction. So, moving upward to the right, more utility to the consumer, and moving upward to the right, more utility to consumer, and vice versa. If we observe the diagram, so draw L shape, mark YOX, good Y is measured on Y axis, good X is measured on X axis. So this is IC1, IC2, IC3. Indifference curves are arranged in ascending order and numbered in ascending order. So moving upward to the right, more utility to consumer. For example, IC1, next IC2, next IC3. Moving upward to the right, just like IC2 and IC3. That gives more utility to the consumer, higher level of satisfaction to the consumer, and vice versa. So moving downward to the left, less utility to the consumer. So all combinations of IC1 gives him same satisfaction. All combinations lying on IC2 give him greater satisfaction than IC1. Consumer prefers combinations higher IC than lower IC. Consumer prefers higher indifference curve, that means that gives a higher level of satisfaction than lower indifference curve, that gives lower level of satisfaction. So this is called indifference map. This is called indifference map. This is something, the information regarding indifference curve analysis. So thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and comment.